Staff, students, and alumni of the University of New Mexico College of Pharmacy, welcome to the college's 20th annual pinning ceremony. My name is Donald Godwin, and I am honored to serve as the Dean of our College of Pharmacy. To start off tonight's ceremony, I want the class of 2024 to please rise and be recognized. You may be seated. Before we begin this evening's ceremony, I want to acknowledge the University of New Mexico's history. Founded in 1889, the University of New Mexico sits on the traditional homelands of the Pueblo of Sandia. The original peoples of New Mexico, Pueblo, Navajo, and Apache, since time immemorial have deep connections to the land and have made significant contributions to the broader community statewide. We honor the land itself and those who remain stewards of this land through the generations, and also acknowledge our committed relationship to indigenous peoples. We gratefully recognize our history. Tonight's pinning ceremony formally recognizes and celebrates the students' transition from their classroom and laboratory studies to their full-time advanced pharmacy practice experiences during their fourth and final year of the program. First, I'd like to thank our friends and colleagues at CVS Health who have generously provided support to make this event possible. When I call your name, please rise, although I'm not going to be able to see you. Monica Kaiser, District Leader. Andrew Bustos from the class of 1998, District Leader. Kayla Aiken, class of 2014, District Emerging Leader. And Gavin Perlman, class of 2015, also District Leader, Emerging Leader. Other special guests joining us for this evening's celebration are representatives of New Mexico's pharmacy organizations and this evening's keynote speakers. First, Dr. Luann Branch, President of the New Mexico Society of Health Systems Pharmacists. And Dr. Aaron Buffington, President of the New Mexico Pharmacists Association. I would also like to ask the faculty and staff of the college to stand and be recognized for their many efforts in helping our students reach this point in their pharmacy education careers. The focus of this evening is our students, the class of 2024. I'm delighted that so many family members and friends are here to share in this evening's celebration. Please give the family and friends a round of applause as they have helped in countless ways support the students' journey through the PharmD program. The transition from the classroom to the clinical setting is an exciting time. First, I want to congratulate the students on all their accomplishments over the last 3 years, which was the result of their hard work and many, many late nights of studying. I think this is a special accomplishment for this class, as they had their entire first year of pharmacy school in a mostly virtual College of Pharmacy. The knowledge, skills, attitudes, and behaviors you have learned over the last 3 years will now be put into practice. During your fourth year, you will explore a variety of practice settings and future career options. While some of you may be celebrating no more studying, no more tests, although there's still a month left, I realize, I'm here to remind you your hard work and learning will continue next year and throughout your career as lifelong learners. The next year in your training will be stressful and challenging at times, but it is an essential step in your development as pharmacists, and we are here to mark this exciting beginning with tonight's pinning ceremony. I would like to now bring the first of our keynote speakers up, Dr. Luann Branch, who brings greetings from the New Mexico Society of Health Systems Pharmacists. Lou Branch is a pharmacist and attorney with over 19 years of pharmaceutical experience and 10 years of legal expertise in the discipline of health law. She has spent 14 years with the University of New Mexico Health System and 5 years with the University of Arizona Health Network. She currently serves as the Director of Pharmacy for the UNM Sandoval Regional Medical Center and is a volunteer clinical assistant professor for UNM College of Pharmacy. She completed a general practice residency with Southern Arizona VA Healthcare System and a specialty residency in cardiology with Banner University Medical Center in Tucson, Arizona. She graduated from the UNM College of Pharmacy and the UNM School of Law and received her Bachelor of Science degree in biology from New Mexico State University. She serves the state of New Mexico as a registered pharmacist and is admitted to the New Mexico State Bar. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Branch to the microphone.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Dr. Godwin for inviting me here tonight. It's an honor to be here to celebrate with you all. And then, of course, I'd like to congratulate the P3s to moving on into the next phase of your curriculum. So you guys have completed all your didactic training, and now it's time to move on to the next phase, rotations, which will be, I think, just a great experience for you all. You're almost done with your testing, so you have that pretty much wrapped up. You just have a couple of major tests left. So congratulations, you guys have, yeah, probably the most important test of your career, right? Yeah. So you still have to work through those, but congratulations, and I am so proud of you. I know there's a few of you that I know that I've had the opportunity to work with, and I'm just very proud of all of you. Congratulations on moving on to the next phase in your career. And I'd like to also welcome and thank all of the family and friends that are out here supporting our students. I know that a lot of times this schooling, these professional programs, they really do take time, and they take away from family time. They take away from time from your loved ones. So thank you guys for supporting our students so that they could make it this far. And welcome. We're glad that you're here so you can celebrate with us. Well, I thought Dr. Godwin extended this invitation, and my first thought was, well, I'm going to prepare something formal so that I can talk to everybody. I want to be really prepared for this event. It's really an important event to move into this next phase. And I decided not to. I decided I was really debating what the subject matter was going to be for tonight. And what I decided was, this is the time now to make a difference. So what I'm going to do is share a few stories with you all throughout my career as a pharmacist. So the first story that I'd like to share is a retail story. And there is an instance where we had a patient that came in. It was an elderly lady that was at the front counter. The interaction was calm initially, and then eventually there was the customer that was expressing some frustration, and she was becoming a little more vocal. So at that point, I decided to step in to see if there was anything I could do to help the situation. So it turns out that we have this elderly lady who had come to the pharmacy to pick up prescriptions for her dog. If anybody knows me, and you all know that I am a huge animal lover, and I have 3 rescue pets at home. So, I sat there, listened to her. Is this still on? Sat there, listened to her story, and what had happened was she had a dog at home that had been seizing the week prior. And she came in to pick up her it was Keppra ER, but the copay was going to be $125 with the discount card. Well, she couldn't afford that. She explained to me that her and her husband were on a limited income, and paying $125 a month would mean that they wouldn't eat. So I sat with her. We, discussed different options, looked at medications, looked at the pricing for immediate release Keppra, and it was about $18 a month. So easy solution, right? Easy peasy. We're going to call the vet and get that changed. And I am able to do that. I can make that call, and I have the qualifications to make that change. Well, I pick up the phone, call the clinic. It happens to be a Saturday. And what do you know? The clinic is closed. So not so easy. There is there's a message that instructs you to call 3 different clinics in town. So I start with the first clinic, VCA, and they're very empathetic. They let me know that they can change the prescription over to immediate release, but they will have to see the pet. They'll have to do an actual physical exam. And I did let her know, let them know the situation. This lady's on a limited income. And they were very empathetic, but they did say, she'd have to pay for another visit. Absolutely wonderful to speak with and interact with them. Then the next clinic I call was Route 66. Not so empathetic. They also, the patient has to come in and see a veterinarian, and then they can go ahead and change that prescription if needed. But much different from the call with ECA. They were not very empathetic. They didn't really acknowledge the fact that, this lady who has a limited income couldn't really afford another visit. So the third place I call was out in Algodones. The clinic out there, I explained the situation again, and they also said we'd have to see the pet so that we can change the prescription to an immediate release. But they also offered to see the pet with no charge. So I was just, flabbergasted and just very thankful, and explained how grateful I was to them for the patient. And as I had gathered these facts, and I was going to present these facts to the patient. And just a side note, I'm not getting paid for this, but if you ever need to go see a vet, I would recommend the clinic out in Algodones. Nobody's paying me to say that. So I went and talked to the lady, and this involved the whole team, right? This involved the technicians, because I was spending quite a bit of time trying to solve this. So the techs were really trying to take care of other patients. They were fielding other calls. So it really was a team effort, and we all knew that we were trying to help this lady. The lady was sitting in the waiting room. She was, we explained the situation was going to take some time. Went and sat in the waiting room with her and went through the whole scenario. This is where you can go. You can drive out to Algodones. It'll be a free visit, and they can get you the medication that you'll need so that you're not having to forgo dinner for the next month. And then we were talking a little bit more, and I had noticed that she had just picked up a prescription for phenobarbital and had spent about $95. She mentioned that. And I looked and went through the prescribing, the SIG, and it looked like she should still have medication. So I asked her, "Do you still have medication?" She said, "Yes, absolutely. I have enough to get me through the weekend." She said, "But I'm just distraught when I see my dog that I've had for 12 years just actively seizing." So I said, "Oh, that's great, because now we have a couple of options. If you are okay to go throughout the rest of the weekend, it was a Saturday, if you can make it through Sunday with the phenobarbital, you can talk to your veterinarian on Monday morning, and she can change that prescription for you, and then you're only going to be paying $18 a month. Or if your dog seems to develop if they acutely seize again, well, then you have the option to go to Algodones. They will see the patient, the animal, with no charge, and they can also give you the prescription that you need." And so she, thought about her options, and she decided that she was going to wait, and she'd go back to see her vet on Monday morning. But if there was an acute event, she would drive out to Algodones. So you are going to go into your 4th year of rotations. You are going to have hands-on training. You're going to be dealing hands-on. You're going to work directly with patients. This is the time to make the difference. This is the time to actually spend that extra time with this patient because you have the qualifications, you have the knowledge to be able to help people. You have the ability to ensure that these patients that we're helping, we're serving these patients, you can make sure that they can actually buy their medication, they can obtain their medication without forgoing dinner. And you guys are soon to be in that position, so please make a difference. All right, the next story is a hospital story. So I did my residencies out in Arizona, and I was excited to start my second year in cardiology. I was going to primarily work in the cardiac ICU. I was going to see, really sick patients, STEMI patients, non-STEMI patients. It was going to be really exciting because I was going to be able to use everything that Dr. Anderson taught me and Dr. Nowarskas taught me. What I didn't realize is the hospital that I was going to complete this residency, they had a very large, prestigious cardiothoracic transplant program. So my cardiology residency was half cardiology and half transplant. I didn't realize that I could love something more than cardiology, but I did. It was transplant. And it was quite an experience. So I did use a lot of what I learned from Dr. Nowarskas and Dr. Anderson, but there are other things that I didn't learn in pharmacy school that I learned from the staff there that made a difference. So we have patients that come in with decompensated heart failure. They are end of life. And luckily in Arizona, we had a program where it was a very large program, and we used total artificial hearts. So I didn't learn too much about total artificial hearts while I was in pharmacy school. That may be part of the curriculum now, so I do not know how familiar you are with these. But what it is, just to put it simplistically, is dialysis for the heart. So what happens is these folks come in, they're decompensating, they're really end of life. They're taken down to the OR emergently, and their heart is removed. And by the way, when it's removed, they can actually hold it in their hands and it keeps beating, which is surreal. Now that's just a red herring there, but back to the story. So they'll remove the heart, and what they do is they implant a device, and that device works as your heart. Well, back in the day, I never thought I would say this, but back in the day when I was there, 2005, it was a really large device. We called it Big Blue. And all of you, I hope that at some point you guys go and Google Syncardia Big Blue so you can see the big machine that I'm talking about. It was actually about this size here, maybe a little bit smaller than this podium. But we had a team, we worked with many teams. We had a team of biomed engineers that regulated the pressures of Big Blue so that we had enough cardiac output. And then we had the pharmacy team that we completed, specialized anticoagulation to ensure that there was no clotting that occurred. And we had many patients that were actually living at our hospital because it was a bridge to transplant. So you were not able to leave the hospital until you actually matched for an organ. For some people, that took over a year. So if you have patients living in your hospital, they're spending holidays with you, they're spending Thanksgiving with you, they're spending Christmas with you, their birthdays, their anniversaries, they live at the hospital. So what I learned from the team is that we're going to help them celebrate. Every opportunity that we could have, we celebrated. We celebrated every occasion. So we had, and this is a difficult story to tell. So we had a 14-year-old, and she came in, she decompensated. She was born with congenital heart disease. She's been having cardiac surgeries throughout her whole life. So she came in, she She was decompensated, and she earned Big Blue. Well, she was living in her hospital for a while, and it was Halloween. So at 14, you want to make sure that she enjoys Halloween. So asked her, what your wish list? What do you want to be for Halloween? And immediately she said she wanted to be a princess. So we all go to the Halloween store, and we don't know which princess outfit she would like, so we buy several. Nice little princess outfit, crowns. And we take it back to the hospital. She picks the one that she wants. Halloween rolls around, and her mom was also living in the hospital, and her mom she was dolled up. She had her hair up in a bun, her makeup, she just looked beautiful. She had her crown on. So she was a princess for the day, and she just loved every minute of it. We all treated her like a princess. She looked like a princess. It was her wish. So the next event is her quinceañera. She's 14. She's fixing to have a birthday, and she wants a quinceañera. Okay, so once again, I go up to her and, hey, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for your 15th birthday? And she says, didn't even think about it, she said, a heart. And I said, well, I'm not sure that there is any store in Tucson, Arizona that carries hearts, but I don't think I can make this wish happen, but we'll try. Well, turns out that before her birthday rolls around, she matched, which was it was unreal because she had had so many surgeries that it was really hard to find a match for her. And she matched prior to her birthday. So it was a Thursday night. She was going into the OR, and everybody was just excited because she was going to get what she wanted for her birthday. She was going to get a heart. And she went into the OR, spent the night operating on her, transplanting. She got a new heart. And unfortunately, we did not expect her to acutely reject the heart. So she wanted the heart, but her body didn't want the heart. So she acutely rejected the heart. We spent the entire weekend giving her every anti-rejection med we could possibly give her. We did everything we could do. By Sunday afternoon, she was on every presser. She was maxed out on pressers, and we eventually lost her. So we didn't learn that in pharmacy school. I didn't realize that I was going to have this opportunity to work with this patient population. Didn't learn that I'd be working with a team that would coordinate these celebrations, that would go out and buy princess dresses so that she could have her one last wish. So I was able, my schooling, my training, your dean, your students have prepared you to go out into the world to make a difference. So this is your opportunity. And in the interest of time, I am not going to share my third story, and maybe we can save that for your graduation. Thank you for having me tonight.
Thank you, Lou. That was really, those stories were all inspiring. So our next speaker is the president of New Mexico Pharmacists Association, Dr. Aaron Buffington. Dr. Buffington is a 2014 Doctor of Pharmacy graduate of the UNM College of Pharmacy, where he earned the distinction of valedictorian for his class. Following graduation, he went to work at Walmart Pharmacy as a pharmacist in charge and pharmacy manager in Las Cruces. In 2018, he decided to return to his hometown of Farmington and worked for Care Drug, a local independent pharmacy. Just about a year ago, he was named the director of pharmacy at the San Juan Regional Medical Center. And most recently, he earned his MBA degree from the University of Illinois. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Buffington to the stage.
Hello. Oh, wait, perfect. Thank you for having me here tonight. It is an honor and privilege to celebrate this special event with you all. You've all worked very hard and should be proud to be on this stage tonight. And don't worry, the dreams of walking into a therapeutics exam and forgetting to study for it will soon be over. Although I had one a month ago, so not soon. This event reminds me of one of my favorite Churchill quotes. "This is not the end, nor is it the beginning of the end. It is, however, an end to the beginning." You are about to start or finish the last few pages of the first chapter of your career. And although they may seem similar to one another, they will all have dramatically different stories. It'll be up to you to fill in the pages. I'd like to give you 3 pieces of advice that I have found very true, soon to be over my last 10 years of being a pharmacist, which is scary to think about. Number 1, network, network, network. Stay in contact with your professors, stay in contact with your preceptors, and although sometimes you may not feel like it, stay in contact with your fellow classmates. You'd be surprised to find some of the best opportunities that you will find in your career will not come from ZipRecruiter, from Glassdoor, or Indeed. They will come from recommendations from your classmates. Case in point, I've actually hired 2 new pharmacists under the recommendation of one of our current staff pharmacists. They called them, sent in their resumes, and we hired them within the month. You never know where the next opportunity might come from. The best way to know is to stay in contact with everyone. Second, treat each of these rotations as a potential job interview. Today's preceptor might be tomorrow's employer. When I was applying for the director position at San Juan Regional, my preceptor was actually on my interview panel. Still remembered me positively. Definitely helped quite a bit in that process. You never know, and I'm sure everyone has told you this, the pharmacy community is very tight, especially in the state of New Mexico. You will be shocked to discover how true that really is. And last piece of advice I'd like to give you, keep an open mind. You may think you know what you want to do with your career. You may think you're going down this path in pharmacy, and you may only hyper-focus on that. Keep an open mind. Most of the time, I think everyone here on this stage is a good example. What we first started is not where we're going to end. Just because you think this is what you want to do now, 5 to 10 years down the road, does not mean that that's what you still want to do. Keep an open mind, keep an open perspective, and stay in contact with one another. Thank you, and best of luck.
Thanks, Buff. Now, moving on to the actual pinning of our students. Each student in the class of 2024 will be presented with a specially designed UNM pharmacy pin to remind them of their important responsibilities and renewed commitment to professionalism as they begin their full-time clinical training. Dr. Joe Anderson, Assistant Dean for Clinical Affairs, will call the names of the class of 2024, while Dr. Tracy Hunter, Associate Dean for Experiential Education, will hand each student their pin. Students will then move to the far end of the stage to be pinned by one of our keynote speakers. And this signifies the commitment of pharmacists, preceptors, alumni, and New Mexico's professional pharmacy organizations to our students. Please know that the students will then disappear for a few minutes off of stage, stage right, audience left, to have their pictures taken by Brian's photography. They will come back. I invite family and friends to celebrate this event. If you want to take pictures, I encourage you to come down on that side. and take pictures as the students are pinned. So Dr. Anderson.
Angela Nickens from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Zachary Romero from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Jana Lee Livingston from Gallup, New Mexico. Atif Samadi from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Ethan Alvarado from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Mustafa Kasemi from Fairfax, Virginia. Abed Aish from Gallup, New Mexico. Who are you? Oh, we're going to slow down for a little bit. Just going to chat. Should I tell some jokes? No? Okay. Oh, can you hear that? Okay. Are we good? Okay, David McChesney from Livermore, California. Ronnie Griego from Bosque Farms, New Mexico. Leslie Gonzalez from Van Horn, Texas. Alex Garay from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Brooke McCann from Folsom, California. Savannah King from Farmington, New Mexico. Bobby Trujillo from Bernalillo, New Mexico. Jade Denninger from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Kendall McKenzie from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Kirsten Green from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Mariah Esquivel from Artesia, New Mexico. Casey Carler from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Fariba Nikukar from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Denise Marie Mendoza from Cebu, Philippines. Robert Baca, Santa Rosa, New Mexico. Marissa Perea from Bosque Farms, New Mexico. Marissa Martinez from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Brianna Bystretsky from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Michaela Escabel from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Alyssa Valdez from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Anahita Rubio from Roswell, New Mexico. Katie McNeil from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Nicholas Olivas from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Tessa Rogers from Carlsbad, New Mexico. Alyssa Barnes from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Heather Cabos, Alamogordo, New Mexico. Vanessa Padilla from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Bria Nelson Sanderson from Silver City, New Mexico. Michael Neville from Kirtland, New Mexico. Simon Doe from East Vale, California. Sarah Roach from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Jenica Granger from Carlsbad, New Mexico. Nawasa Imanson from Bangkok, Thailand. Hannah Haynes from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Helen Nago from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Jessica Duong from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Jade Tran from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Andriana Lane from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Tamanda Sandoval from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Ariana Worley from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Same Goitam from Karen, Eritrea. Isaiah Young from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
All right, as the last few students are returning from having their pictures taken, parents, family, and friends, let me tell you a little bit about the student's journey over the next year. It'll be exciting, but it'll be difficult at times. Every 4 weeks, they will go into a new practice setting. It's kind of like having a new job or a job interview, as Dr. Buffington said, every 4 weeks. They will have stories to tell while being compliant with patient privacy regulations. They'll be excited. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life, probably 4 or 5 times. But then there will also be times they're going to be frustrated. Why am I on this rotation? Why am I needing to do this? Now, some rotations are required of every pharmacy student in the country, but a lot of them are also electives that the students can choose from. All of them will require effort and dedication to get the best possible experiences. I tell you this because they will continue to need your support throughout the year. You will be there to share and support them throughout their journey. Now I have to see if everybody's back yet, and I can't see anything. We're missing a whole row? I don't have that much fill. Hey, Anderson, you got jokes? Come on, Joe.
These are dad jokes, mind you.
You're a dad.
Yeah, well, I'm a dad, yeah.
We're fleeing cars.
Oh, okay. Well, that's one joke.
All right.
So I heard about a big merger the other day. I guess UPS and FedEx are merging together. They're going to be called Fed Up. Tell you, tough crowd, tough crowd. You know why I don't trust stairs? Because they're always up to something. All right, one more. That's it. Okay. Thank you. So the other, are we getting close? We are getting closer. 3 more. Okay, this is a short one. But anyway, the other day, doorbell rang. Went and answered it. And it was a city employee. And they were asking for donations so that they could build a city pool. So I went back inside the house, came out, gave him a glass of water. Right?
All right. Are we good? A little more. All right, so a string walks into a bar. And the string goes to the bartender and says, "I need a drink." We don't serve strings in here. Get out of our bar. So his buddy comes in, also a string, and says, "I need a drink." And the bartender says, we don't serve strings in here. So the string backs off from the bar, goes back, messes up his hair, does all this, really makes himself really messed up. And he goes, "Okay, I need a drink." He goes, "I've already told you, we don't serve strings in here." He goes, "I'm not a string. I'm afraid not." Yeah. Tip your waiters. I need one more. I think I'm out of material. Oh, look at.
Did we all hear about the kidnapping at school today? It's okay, he woke up later.
This is taking a long time this year. I don't know either. Well, I could just, thanks, Buff. So, you guys will, you guys will like a little story between Dr. Buffington and I. He is a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. And I was born and raised outside of Philadelphia, and my dad had season tickets for 30 years, so I'm a big Eagles fan. So every time the Eagles played the Cowboys when he was in pharmacy school, we had a bet, and whoever won the game had to wear the jersey of the opposing team. So unfortunately, the Eagles were not that good while he was in pharmacy school, and the Cowboys were pretty good. So there's several pictures floating around. I'm sure you have them, Buff, of me and I think I had an Ezekiel Elliott jersey on one year. Jason Witten, yeah. So, but anyway, I like Buff a lot, even though he has really poor choice in football teams. All right, now we are done. I wasn't going to say anything about your football team, Buff, but I needed to have some material to stretch it out. All right. So again, congratulations to the class of 2024. I will now lead your class in the reciting of the oath of a pharmacist that can be found in your program. So class of 2024, please rise. Yeah. Any pharmacist in the audience, feel free to state the oath as well. I promise to devote myself to a lifetime of service to others through the profession of pharmacy. In fulfilling this vow, I will consider the welfare of humanity and the relief of suffering my primary concerns. Promote inclusion, embrace diversity, and advocate for justice to advance health equity. I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability to assure optimal outcomes for all patients. I will respect and protect all personal and health information entrusted to me. I will accept the responsibility to improve my professional knowledge, expertise, and self-awareness. I hold myself and my colleagues to the highest principles of our profession's moral, ethical, and legal conduct. Embrace and advocate changes that improve patient care. I will utilize my knowledge, skills, experiences, and values to prepare the next generation of pharmacists. Take these vows voluntarily with the full realizations of the responsibility with which I am entrusted by the public. Thank you, and be seated. Before we conclude the formal ceremony, I would like to again give thanks to CVS Health for their wonderful support, which helps make special events like tonight's possible. I would also like to thank some faculty and staff as well. Special thanks go to Dr. Tracy Hunter and her staff, Joyce Crampman and Dr. Jennifer Ortega, who have been and who will work closely with the students over the next year. Thanks to Dr. Anderson, Tabitha McMahon, and the curriculum office staff, Summer Hayek, Jasmine Hicks, and Krista Rundix, who have supported the students through the didactic portion of the curriculum. And of course, the Office of Student Affairs, led by Dr. Crystal Ward, Assistant Dean for Student Affairs, and the Student Affairs staff, Katie Gench, Diana Parker, Veronica Bicknell, and Taylor Wells, for supporting the personal and professional development of our students, and also for planning tonight's ceremony. In addition, many thanks to Alumni Relations Manager Alex Tibble and Director of Development Markella Pavlakos for helping in funding this event, and to Lydia Gosling from the UNM Health and Health Sciences Marketing and Communication for serving as tonight's photographer. And finally, I want to thank my assistant, Rose Williamson, for her overall coordination of tonight's event and to make sure that I went to the correct venue. So I hope you all have had a great evening. We have some appetizers and desserts in the foyer out of Hope Joy Hall, and you can congratulate your students on a fantastic achievement. So we do want to get a picture of the class sitting in their chairs with their brand new pins. So if the rest of the audience can start moving out to the foyer, we will take a quick picture and then we will release your students to you. Thank you very much and have a great evening.